Scott is with us this morning.
Lovely to see you, mate. Congratulations. What a win.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever played in a game that's been decided.
After the siren.
After the siren. Like I played at Anzac Day when Zaharakis kicked that goal basically as the siren was sounding. But yeah, when Jamie took the mark yesterday,
Which was a phenomenal mark.
unbelievable.
2-on-1.
Yeah, unbelievable mark. Sort of funny. Like Trent's kick to him was unbelievable. Like had to hit that exact space, and then Billy's mark where he turns his back and sort of just holds it. But I was sort of standing at centre half forward, looking over the bench, like tapping my wrist, like how long to go? And one of the guys on the bench just done the old like, that's it, mate. There is no time, and I'm like, oh my god, this like I was sort of in one respect, I was glad we gave ourselves a chance to win from that spot, but I was probably thinking, geez, gonna have to hit this pretty well from here. And then I have a habit, I don't watch the kick, I watch the person to see their reaction. And he kicked it and he turned to the crowd, but I didn't really see him do anything. And I was like, is he shattered or is he happy? And then next minute I just seen everyone just run. And I was like, it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Very composed. He looked like he was just...
Yeah, it was funny because people like, even when I got home, my wife was like, how did he know the time? How do you know? And I was like, there's always signs on the bench. Like, so we knew there was under 30 seconds to go. So yeah. And in that situation, we've sort of been instructed, if there's under 30 seconds to go, take your time, back yourself, back your kick. Don't roll and play on and try and get it to the top of the square because the siren might go.
Well, we saw that with Richmond.
So, that's something that we've practiced since our coaching staff's come in is, under 30 seconds or around that. If you take a mark inside 50 within your range, go back and
have a shot.
Yeah, because you'd rather have a shot for the game than pass when the siren goes.
Sure.
But he was walking in when the siren went. That must be distracting.
Well, he actually said he didn't hear the siren because it was that loud. So, because I sort of thought the same sort of thing. The siren went like 4 steps before he kicked it. And I was like, is he going to stop? Is he going to go back? And then he flushed it and then, all
he
hell
hit it
broke
as
loose.
Sweet as a nut.
Oh, didn't he?
Yeah.
The umpire, it's always, you watch the goal umpire, they don't move. He just stood there and the classic, like just tilt the neck back and all the boys just left and it's unbelievable.
Good feeling.
Yeah, it was
You're on fire at the moment.
One of the best feelings in footy that I've ever had. That just the emotion of almost gone, 20 odd points down after starting so well, and then
37 up at quarter time.
37 up, and then 20 something down the last quarter, like roller coaster of a game, and then to fight our way back to give ourselves a chance. Even before that, Ash Johnson had a snap to put us 4 points up, and so we. A lot to like about the first and last quarter and a lot to work on, which is exciting to still be winning games with a lot to work on.
You've won some really tight games too. What was the stat you had from this morning, Will?
So of the
66
9
points total, isn't it?
Across nine wins.
In an 8-game period, it's the lowest cumulative total of 8 wins.
9 game now.
Now it's 9.
9 games. So it's 66 points we've won by across 9 weeks.
It's great experience for the playing group to have tight games and win them.
Yeah, well, the last 4 weeks, I think we've gone 4 points, 5 points, 5 points, 4 points.
That's excellent experience.
It's great experience. Not great for the heart rate.
No. All the supporters are.
Yeah, like as I said, like we're playing. We are a little bit patchy at the moment, and we acknowledge that. But we're getting the lessons. We're getting the 4 points. We've still got 4 games to go. Port Adelaide this week, who played in a cracking game. So we've got it.
How's your run home look?
We've got Port Adelaide and then Melbourne. That's all I know that we've got left. But there's obviously 2 more games, but I'm just not sure against who. But Port, Melbourne. So we've got a lot to work on, and we showed yesterday our first quarter was electrifying. We moved the ball, defended, all that sort of stuff. So we just, how can we bring that for longer and get our game in really tight shape for what is a big month of football coming up?
Absolutely, and you potentially finishing top 4.
Yeah, well, I think are we 5th at the moment or
4th?
Yeah, so we're 4th at the moment. So. It's a funny one. Our percentage isn't great, but we're winning games of football. So, as I said, I'm really optimistic about what we can do in the last month because there's a lot about our game we can clean up that I think we know how to clean up. It's just concentration lapses within games that we've got to get better at. And then if we can do that, I think we'll be a lot stronger or tighter. And the run home's exciting for us.
It's one of the tougher runs home. So you've got Port at the G, D's at the G, Swans at the SCG, and then the blockbuster Carlton in the final round at the MCG, which is going to be electric.
I always sort of laugh at you've got a tough run home or the easy run
Every
home.
game's a tough game.
So matter of fact is the draw, you play everyone once and you play a few sides twice. So
At least in Sydney, you can get out on the cans.
Yeah, that would be it'd be great up in Sydney to do that.
Just rip out and go clubbing. No one will know.
You had the kick out in that last passage of play. And when you hit up Darcy Moore, could you see that side of the field was completely open for that run?
Yeah, so sort of we spoke really quickly, but I just said to Darcy, if he kicks a point here, take off down the middle, but if you see a gap left or right, just shoot off.
Oh, wow, set play.
Well, not really a set play, but it's sort of, I don't know, just common sense is...
football now.
Yeah, well, it's just like what most people think in that situation. You're going to get it, you're going to play on, you're going to kick it as far as you can down the middle. Everyone, get up the guts.
Yeah.
There was literally, I reckon there was 24 players standing in the middle of the ground. And yeah, it was Darcy's call. I just said, run, go left or right. And Darcy's probably the quickest guy on our side and had Peter Wright sort of trying to chase him, but you're not going to catch him.
No, but the ball movement was
so
beautiful.
Quick. So yeah, Darcy made the decision to go left. It was a really easy kick for me to hit.
Yeah.
And then he took off and then Trent got out the back and then Billy got out the back and moved the ball really quickly. But yeah, sort of, we didn't want to be the side who just goes, oh, we'll just boot it up the middle and hope someone takes a big pack mark amongst 24 people.
But that's the experience of playing these tight games now and having these tight finishes. You can execute. Did you go to Bunnings pre-game? What was the pre-game?
Didn't go to Bunnings,
Bunnings?
pre-game. No Bunnings this week. What did I do? My son had a birthday party. It wasn't his birthday, it was his cousin's birthday party. So we're at
Quick bit of cake.
Yeah, Inflatable World.
Pre-game, Inflatable World.
I'd take Bunnings.
Yeah.
I'd go to Bunnings, have a sausage and bread.
Yeah. So
all right, well, let's come back, talk more footy. Exciting game from the Pies yesterday as they continue a really good year up to now. And in some ways, maybe a year people weren't expecting.
Oh, yeah, I don't think in some ways. I think in many ways, people sort of...
I'm just being polite because you're the captain of the club.
Yeah. You're not within arm's distance, so you're safe.
Sling tackle me.
Yeah. Or head high tackle you. You can do that these days and get away with it. I think, but that's like the nature of the game every year is you predict your top 8 and you get some right, some wrong. So externally, people didn't really rate us that highly, but internally, I think every club goes in the optimistic, and we were that. And I've always said if you can get a few wins and you get some confidence, like you can't just open the fridge and have a drink of confidence and away you go. So we've got a bit of confidence with how we're going about it, and it's an exciting time to be playing football, and hopefully we've got a bit left in our season to go.
Other games from the weekend, North looked a little underdone.
That's the one you picked.
Richmond Freo, the draw, that was...
they had a couple
Richmond didn't need that.
I didn't... The Noah Bolt... Was it Noah Bolter got smothered?
Yeah, he got smothered.
Did he take too long?
Yeah, 30 seconds chewed up, and then he didn't hear the play on call. He just saw players rushing at him.
It's good. You sort of see that as a player. I'm watching that, and you said, that... I think it was Michael Frederick from Fremantle who comes in and smother. I'm just like, that's so, like, he's so alert, so in tune with what's happening, watching the umpire. As much people would be like, Bolter, made a mistake. I'm sort of sitting there going, well, that's pretty good by Freo to be that onto it, because you could sitting there going, oh no, he's going to kick a point here, like sort of projecting. And then the Port Adelaide Geelong game, Saturday afternoon over there.
Belter.
That final quarter, that felt like a final. Like there was that many, it was almost just like, there's not really much skill involved. It was just like hit, tackle, hit, knock on. Someone soccers the ball, someone handballs over the head, and then it lands like one possession goal. And you're like, there was like 100 metres of ground taken there from tackles, knock-ons, soccers off the ground. It was so good to watch. The hits were amazing to sit there, and I thought, geez, you can't top that. And then you go to Bulldogs Melbourne and almost tops that.
Yeah,
that was
belter.
Unreal game under the roof.
The intensity at this time of the year, it's funny how the whole game across the board just starts to lift.
Yeah, well, I think it's that time, like time's running out for sides. So, Port spoke about, they still believe they can play finals, and to get there, they really needed to win that game. And, there's still a chance and all that sort of stuff. But in their mind, they're probably like, we've got to get this one. And you can see the urgency, Western Bulldogs, the urgency, because time's running out for a few sides where, we've got to win this game. And you can just see when it's all on the line, players you just sacrifice your body for the 4 points or whatever you need to do. And it makes for really good viewing.
Melbourne are having a patchy little moment, aren't they?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of sides in the competition at the moment are, even Geelong, I think they were similar to us. They started poorly, then wound it right back. I think they got 35 points up. And then just the momentum in football, it's probably been there all year, but it's more noticeable now, even with the good sides. The sides that for the first 10 or 11 weeks weren't really buying into the whole, like we play good 10 minutes, drop off 15 or whatever it is. So I think the same thing, like Melbourne shot out to 27 points and then got reeled in, and then it's happening a lot in football. So how we can try and stop that's something that every side's trying to figure out.
Yeah, those 40, 50-point swings don't seem as rare anymore these days. Do you think is it like a 666 thing? Is there anything that you can put your finger on?
No, I just think sides are much better now when you're behind, of just being, staying the course, attacking the game of football in front of you, not being like, Melbourne are beating us here. Oh, well, let's just cop this for the day. Coaches' boxes will change stuff straight away. Like, all right, we're kicking the ball inside more. Let's play on more. Everyone's more aggressive. And, then I think you get a bit of a run on, and then a centre bounce goal will happen with the 6, 6 and 6, which I think definitely helps. And then, sides just believe for a lot longer now that they can, 30 points isn't as far back as what it used to feel like.
No. St Kilda had an important win.
Yeah, well, I think I had a look this morning. Are they 8th again now? Or
No, they are
points
9th, equal 8th with the Bulldogs on points.
As I said, like all the wins you can bank and the points, it's important because 4 rounds to go and everyone's jostling for spots. And, I think they started the year 7-3 or 8-3. So those early wins keep them in a really good spot now.
Yeah, are you a fan of the bye?
Mid-season bye or the pre-finals?
The pre-finals bye.
As a player, it really freshens your body up, and you come into finals feeling a lot fresher than banged up. And I get the war of attrition comments as well of best side in it or whatever. But I think for the viewing and the spectacle and sides to get everything in line, and for the best football, I think the bye really helps.
Yeah, good. You're having a great year. Well done. Well, who you got? Port.
Yeah, Port on Saturday.
Port at the G. You don't play a lot of games at the MCG, Collingwood.
No, we get a tough end of the stick.
Yeah, you never get a real good run at it to get a feel for the ground.
Only 15 this year.
15 games at the G.
Yeah, so travel to Marvel every now and again.
Yeah. How awful. You wouldn't even know how to get there, would you?
Well, yesterday, funnily enough, was the first time we played in like dry conditions for about 7 weeks.
That's true. Yeah.
Roof closed.
We'd been playing in like Adelaide that was torrential rain and wind and Gold Coast.
Do they even open the roof anymore? I can't remember the last time I saw Marvel with the roof open.
They stopped doing that.
Yeah, right.
Because it creates chaos with the sun and the shade.
Yeah.
It was nice to play a game of football yesterday in the dry where there's a bit of skill involved. And, because we've been playing a lot of the wet weather games, which we enjoy playing, but it was just different running out. The conditions were amazing yesterday.
Going back to Friday night quickly with the draw. So Noah Cumberland takes that mark with 3 or so seconds remaining. It's a very similar scenario to Jamie Elliott. And then because he doesn't know the exact time we see him play on, which ultimately ends the game in a draw, do you think it's time that the AFL brought in the actual game clock at a stadium? Because at the moment, as you're saying, with
holding up signs,
30-second signs.
Who's looking at that?
So on the bench, we've got a clock with the game clock on it. So we know like 7 minutes to go or 5, 3. And then, it's just so funny, but both sides stand next to each other with 5 minute sign up. And you almost could look across and be like, can you just put the 5 up? I'll do the 4. So I think in that scenario, as I said, for us, we sort of train that of, if you ever see the minute or 30 seconds to go, if you take a mark within range, go back, don't play on, unless there's something really obvious.
Yeah.
But if it's the 30-second sign, if you're within range, even if someone's open in the goal square, go back because the siren could go.
Yeah, okay.
Kick the goal. So I think as Richmond would have had the 30-second sign up.
So he should have known.
I think, they would have known as a side there was under 30 seconds to go. And he might have seen someone free in the goal square, about to kick it to him, kick a goal from the goal square, but the siren goes. So, I think that's something that, as I think
you need a blanket rule.
Yeah, I think Jack Rewalt says it's never that moment in the game that costs you. Like, for a draw, there was stuff that happened earlier, but it's still a moment in the game where you can manage really well to make sure, because I think it was a draw. So just any score would have done.
Yeah, you can affect the outcome.
Yeah, but then the other thing is, I think he marked it on 52, didn't he? So he mightn't have had the range.
Apparently he does. That's
okay. I don't know that. So if he didn't have the range, well then it probably makes sense why he rolled to play on, because it's different if you mark from 50 and you got to go back and kick a set shot, because that turns it into 56, 57 metre set shot.
At the end of a game.
Yeah, whereas if you roll and go, you're probably taking that from 50. So
yeah, for sure.
But there were some cracking games of football just gone. I think the football is going to get really exciting in the last month.